we are not stuck with these statistics if we start to take the power back into our own hands and make decisions with our behavior. When I started realizing how toxic everything is, initially I kind of freaked out. And this is what my clients do too. They're like, oh my gosh. I tell them, I'm like, no, you're not going to get it perfect. It's making progress and doing the little things. You asked about things that you can do from an emotional standpoint, but we have data that show emotional trauma has a higher incidence of illness, including cancer. So the biggest study on that is the ACE study, which is the Adverse Childhood Event Study, followed children from childhood into adulthood and counted the number of adverse childhood events, which could be sexual abuse, physical abuse, neglect, divorce of parents, parent incarcerated, a parent with substance abuse, kind of all these different things. And it looked at what is their incidence of getting an illness later in life depending on their ACE score. And what they found was the higher the number of these adverse childhood events, the higher the incidence of cancer, diabetes, heart disease. We know there is this connection between emotional trauma and illness, and this is something that we're not talking about at all. But for me, when I went through my divorce and leaving, so like I had so many losses within 1 year. I lost my marriage, I lost my career that I had spent my whole life building. My mom died, I moved, all the major stressors that I knew I needed to fortify myself. With this process, I knew there were so many things that I needed to change about my life and my environment, but I knew that if I stressed about doing all of them, that was just adding to the emotional trauma and stress, right? And so I had to just take it one thing at a time, that I was like, okay, this is the first thing that I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna do the next thing. And I think that's really important because it can be very overwhelming, that you just feel like, oh my gosh, it's just not even worth it, or you're paranoid about everything, which I think is actually really problematic and can create illness. I encourage that as people think about these changes, think about them as empowering. I love that you said that, Chris. This is empowering. That we are not stuck with these statistics if we start to take the power back into our own hands and make decisions with our behavior.